Okay, guys, I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know you are able to see. I've shared my entire screen. I suppose you are able to see, right? If you are able to, thank Siddhant, Akshay, other people. Yeah, and see, recordings are happening. I suppose. Yeah, fine. Okay. Now, if you are able to see in the this is Power BI desktop. Okay, and currently I'm in Power BI desktop. If I have to open Power Query, okay, what I have to do, I have to go to my home tab, and inside my home tab we have a transform data ribbon. These are called ribbons. I need to click on this, and this is my Power Query. So if you look, the UI of my Power Query, UI of my Power Query is different from my Power BI desktop. So this is my Power BI desktop, and this is my Power Query. These two are, part of Power BI only, but two different tools. Okay. Now, what we actually do in Power Query. So if I revise so like what will happen? This Power Query is help us to fetch the data. Okay, so we have fetch data from inventory table, we have orders table, then we have candidate table, and these are different table that is available with us. Okay, so using Power Query, what we can do? So if we have some data source, okay, just revising guys, just for 2 minutes. If we have some data source, so suppose the data is available in SQL database, and from SQL database we are pulling that data into our Power BI desktop. So from SQL database, suppose this is my database, and from this database, if I want to fetch some data from this table, suppose this is my employee table, and this table is inside my SQL database. And from this database, if I want to fetch data, I have to use Power Query. Okay, it act as a ETL that I already told you. What is the purpose of ETL? ETL is stand for E is stand for extract, T is stand for transform, and L is stand for load. Okay, so what will happen from data source? We extract data into Power Query. From data source, we extract data into Power Query. So suppose this is my Power Query. So from this data source, I can extract data, or I can read data, or I can bring that data into my Power Query. And here I can transform my data. Like if I want to delete some column, or if I remove duplicates, okay, remove null values, or if I want to replace some value, I can do that. All that type of transformation I can do that using Power Query. So this is my Power Query that I've already explained. Okay, but since two people have joined today, I thought of revising it. Okay, now today we'll see some transformation, some different transformation. Okay, so today we'll see transformation. One of the most common transformation is append, and these are asked in the interview. What is append? What is the difference between append and merge in Power Query? So this is very important, and that's why I want to cover it. Okay, so let's suppose we have one table, and that table name is employee HR department. Means these table contain information about employees belong from HR department. So like we have employee ID like CD01, CD02, CD03. These are the employee ID that we have. and these are their first name, like we have a Chetan, Palash, Shivam, and their last name is there. And these are the employee, they are belong from HR department. Okay, so let me copy this data and insert this data into Power Query. So I will go to my Power Query, and here I can click on new, so enter data. So if you see, these are the tabs. So we have home tab, transform tab, add column tab, view tab. These are the different tab. So inside home tab, I need to click on enter data ribbon. So I click on this. Whenever you want to manually insert data, then you can use this ribbon, enter data ribbon. So these are the column. If you want to increase more column, like you need to click on this. We have a column 2, we have a column 3, we have a column 4, and so on. And these are the row. So as of now, I have only one row. You can increase the number of row by clicking on this plus symbol. If you want to delete, you select on row number and right click on your mouse and click on delete. Click on delete. Click on delete. And if you want to delete column, same way, you need to select on column ender, right click and choose the delete option to delete any column. Okay, here you can name your table. So since I want to paste my data, I need to click on column 1 and control V to paste. So I got this data, as well as I want to change. I don't want to give table name as a table. I want to give table name as employee HR department. So I can copy it, alt tab to come into this previous tab, you know and paste it, control V to paste. So I have a employee HR department. I will click OK. As soon as I click OK, I will have this data here. So see, I have an employee HR department data here. Since already my table name employee HR department was already there, that's why by default in the parenthesis it has given 2. Okay. In general, we call these as the table, but in Power Query we call them as a queries. So these are the query, if you see. So I can say this is inventory query, this is order query, this is candidate query, this is employee query, food query, and employee HR department query. So these are the different queries. Number of queries are 7. So in Power Query, we call them as a queries, but ideally, like when you load it, the naming of the same thing become table. So in Power BI desktop, we call it table. Okay, just a naming convention. Now I have employee HR department, this query. Let me delete this query. I don't want it. So I'm deleting it. How to delete any query? You need to click on that query, right click, and you will get an option to delete. It will ask you whether you really want to delete it. Yes, I want to delete. I choose delete. It will gone. Now I will name this query as employee HR department. I will remove this too. So one way of renaming is come to under query setting area. These are called query setting area towards right hand side. Okay, under the properties we have a query name. You can change it from here. The impact will seen here. So if I press the enter key, see, I have removed two here from the parenthesis. Here it also removed. So if you want to rename your query, you can do it from here, or either you can do it from here by selecting the query, right click, and you get an option to rename, and you can do that. Once you rename it, you press the enter key, and you will be able to rename your query. Okay. Now I have this query. First of all, our work is to check the data type of these column are correctly detected by Power Query or not. So see, this is employee ID, and I am storing, a string value, and this has detected data type as a ABC. If you see data type text, data type. Okay, I know that I am storing text value. So by default, the AI intelligence of Power Query that it has detected text data type, it is correct. Now I will come to this, first name column, employee first name, a data type is ABC. ABC is stand for text. This is correct. And same apply for last name. Okay. So now I have employee HR department query, or I can say as a table that has a three column and three rows. Okay. Now we'll have another table, and these table contain information about employee from finance department. So I copy this thing, copy the name as well. I will go here. Since I want to insert manually data, I need to follow the same step. Under the home tab, I need to click the enter data ribbon. Okay, and window V. Okay, this is a table that I want to paste it. See, I have this table. This table have a three column, two rows, and I want to change the name also. Name I want to put as employee finance department. I click OK. Okay, so I will have another query here, and it is saying employee finance department. If you see this query, employee HR department and employee finance department, what is the common thing that you will see that this employee HR department contain information about employee, the same entity, or I can say the same subject. Here I am talking about employee. What are the attribute that it has? Attribute means column. So it has employee ID, first name, last name. Okay. If you see the data type of employee ID is a string, the same first name as a string and the last name is a string here. Again, if you come to employee finance department query, this also talk about the same subject. The subject is employee. It contain information about employee. What are the different attribute it has? It has employee ID, first name, last name. If you see the data type is same. Okay. So both the table contain data about the same subject, that is employee. Okay. Both the table both the table contain data about same subject, same subject. Okay. This is important because if somebody asks you when we should go for append, then this is very important. So if we have a two table, both the table have data about same subject. The subject is employee and have same attribute. If you see, so if I say attribute, I means column. Sometimes people also call it as a dimensions. Okay. So we have same attribute. We have employee ID here also, here also. First name here also, first name here also. Last name here also, last name here also. The important thing is both the table have information about the same subject. Now, suppose this table have three rows, this table have two rows, right? The data in the both the table is of the same subject. Instead of maintaining two table for the employee, what we can do, we can maintain one single table that will have complete information. Means what I can do, I can have one single table that will have employee ID, first name, last name, These are the information that it will have, and the information about Chetan, Palash, and Shiva. Below this only, what I want to have the information about these two employee, CD04 and CD05. Okay, so out of maintaining two different table, what I can do, I can maintain one single table, and this single table will have same level of information that is available, combined together in the both the table. So what I can do, instead of maintaining these two table, I can maintain one single table, and I will have same information. This is called, copying the rows of one table below the other table. This type of transformation is called append. When we go for append, we go for append when we have a two or more than two table that have data about the same subject. What will happen? The number of column remains same. So here in both the table, we have three column: employee ID, first name and last name. Here also in the output also we have a three column: employee ID, first name and last name. Number of column remains same. But what will happen? In the first table I had three rows. In the second table I had two rows. Now finally I have five rows. So when you go for append, number of rows increases. So number of rows will be rows in table 1 plus rows in table 2. What will happen, the number of columns? Okay, number of columns remain same. Okay, when we go for the append, this should be your main point. We always go for append when we have two tables or more than two tables that contain you know data about the same subject. The second point is that the data type of corresponding column should be same. So the data type of employee ID and this column should be same. The data type of first name and this first name should be same. The data type of this last name and last name should be same. So these are the two requirement when we can go for append. I'm coming on that. Coming on that. The data type of corresponding column should be same. So if these two conditions are met, we can go for append. In append, what will happen? The rows of first table, the rows of second table will be copied just below the corresponding column of the first table. What will happen? The number of rows in the output table will be rows in first table plus rows in second table. So we have three rows from the first table and two rows from the second table. So we are getting five rows. If you see, we are getting five rows. Count is five. What will happen to the columns? The column in the first table was three. The column in the second table was three. The column in the output table is three. Now let's first see how to append data in Power Query. So I will come back here. So we have two tables, employee HR department and employee finance department. Now what I will do, I will append table, these two table. What I have to do, select any of the table. I am selecting employee HR department. Then under home tab, come to our right hand side. We got append queries. So these are called area. So we have combine area, we have a transform area. Under this transform area, we have all these different ribbons. Then we have a sort area, reduce rows area, manage column area. These are called areas. How can I identify? If you see, parallel line, between two parallel line, there will be one area, transform area, between this parallel line and this parallel line. Between this parallel line and this parallel line, we have a combine area. So under combine area, we have a append query. We need to click on the drop down and choose append query as a new. Okay. So it is asking, see what append say, concatenate rows from two table in a single table. So if you want to, append two tables, you need to choose two. If you want to append more than three table, you need to choose this option. But as of now, I want to append only two tables. I choose this option. The first table by default will come, selected table. So employee HR department was selected table. So it is coming here. What is the second table? I need to choose employee finance department. So I need to choose this. I click on this and I will choose employee finance department and click OK. Once I click OK, I will have another query with the name append one. And if you see the output, the number of column remains same only, but now the number of rows will be three rows from the first table and next two rows from the second table. Now I have five rows. Okay, what you can do, you can, change the name of your table by right click and choose, rename, and here you need to write employee table instead of employee table, or simply you write employee data. Hit the enter. So now you have complete information of employee. These two query are not needed, because the combined information of these two queries is available into this. This is called append. Okay. Now we'll take some different scenario in append. Okay. And after that, I will take up your question. Okay. So now if you see, suppose my first table have four column. Instead of three, I have a four column. And the, so let's say I have a salary column here also. Okay, I have a salary column here also. And my second table have only, three column only. What will happen? Okay, so let me copy this data and let's come back here. I will go to my this HR department. I need to change it. To change the structure, I need to go to source. In front of source, you see a star button. You need to click on this. So I click on this. What will happen? I need to, again insert this data for this column only. So let me copy this data for salary column and let me paste it here in column one. So now I have a salary column 60, 55, and 75. Let me click OK. So if you see this salary column, they are detecting as ABC text. This is not correct because salary should be, decimal number. So I will change its data type and I choose decimal. Now the data type of this column is decimal. So now my first table have four column, my second table have a three column. If you see, the corresponding three column are same: employee ID, first name, last name. Here also the fourth column salary is here, but salary is not present here. Now if I come here, because these two table has been appended, see the result what will happen. So I have a employee ID, first name, last name. The information are present right in the both the table. These three rows, if CD01, CD02 and CD03, these has came from the first table that has a salary, so I am getting salary. But CD04 and CD05 has came from the second table, and since the salary column was not present there, so I am getting null values. So in Power BI, I'm not talking about SQL because SQL has some different rule. We'll study, you will get to know when we study. But in Power BI, if my first table have four rows, four columns, sorry, and my second table have three column, then also we can go for append. But what will happen? Since second table does not have salary information, for that I'm getting null. Against that, rows, I will get null. So in Power BI, it is not necessary that both the table should have same number of columns to go for append. Okay, only thing is, the corresponding data type of the column should be same, and main thing is that both the tables should have data about the same subject. Okay, appending data of employee and appending data of food will not make any sense, although it will have same number of column. If I append it, it does not make any sense. Okay, that's why I'm saying I will go for append when both the table will have same, both the table will have same information about same subject. Now somebody asks, suppose if I change the column name, so here it is employee ID, here also employee ID. In the first table, let me change this name to employee ID. Only I will change this, from employee to ID. So I have ID, e name, e last name, and salary. Here also the name is here employee ID, first name and last name. Data type is same only. Here text, here also text. I'm just giving the different column header. Now if I append these two table, what will happen? Let's see the data. So we got ID as one column. This ID column was present into first table. CD01, CD02, CD03 for Chetan, Palas and Shiva. So I'm getting this information from CD01, CD02, CD03. All this information from first table. But ID column is not present in the second table, and that's why I'm getting null. In the second table, its name was employee ID, and here I'm getting CD04 and CD05. Since employee ID column was not present in the first table, so against Chetan, Palas and Shibam, I am getting null value for this column. Okay. Now I am done from my side for append. If you have any query or question, you can ask. So what you are saying, when we have a duplicate value, right? Let's do that. So let me, first I rename this column as a CD ID. From employee ID, I renamed it as from employee ID. I renamed it as ID. I don't want to make this change. So what I will do, I will remove this transformation. How I can remove it? You need to go under query setting. You come to apply the steps, and here you come to this step. This is the transformation that I have done it. I don't want this transformation. What I will do, I will click on this cross symbol. The transformation will go. So let me do that. See, now I have employee ID, first name, last name, and salary. Okay. Now let me insert duplicate value. So here we have CD04. What I will do, let me insert CD04 here also. And what is the name? Rohini Patil. So I will insert one more row here, and that information is of Rohini. To do that, I need to go to setting area. I will click on this plus symbol. I will insert CD04. I will go to Rohini, and here Patil. Okay. And let's, I'm not giving any salary to her. Salary is null. Yeah. Same information is present here. Let me see that. What will happen? So I'm getting CD04, CD04 two times. Name is Rohini, Patil, and null. Okay. So if there is a duplicate row, it will keep the duplicate row. It will not remove the duplicate row. It will not give you the distinct value. It will simply, append the rows. Append the rows is means, you will get all these four rows from this first table, from row number 1 to 3 and 4. Row number, this is first table, and it will going to append the two rows from the second table. So finally now we have a six rows. This append in SQL is, similar to append on. So let me write that. Append in Power Query is equivalent union all, not append all, union all in SQL. Okay. So when I will teach you SQL, we're going to study union all. There you will find that the same thing will going to happen. So we'll have two different tables, and in union also we need to combine the output of two tables into one single table as a one single output. We'll have same exactly output. Okay. Union all keeps duplicate value. Is this clear? Or if you have any question, guys, please ask before I should move to the next topic. Yes. As of now, we are focusing on transformation. For analysis purpose, I will teach you how to do that. Surely we're going to learn, in Power BI desktop when I will be going to teach you DAX. There will do that. Okay. As of now, we'll restrict ourselves to this transformation only. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah, hi. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, join is different. Join is different. Uh, Union is different. I'm saying this append will act as a union all, not as a join. So we'll teach you a merge, then you can relate. In join, you will have two different subject, not one single subject. Okay. Let's move to the next topic. Let's learn merge. Okay. So we have other transformation in uh, Power query, and that transformation is called merge. What I will do, let me some insert some rows here. No. I don't want to do that. Okay. Let me bring everything below. Yeah. Okay, guys. So next topic is merge. Merge is very important. Okay, because the question will going to ask what is the difference between append and merge. Okay, and out of five interview, at least in two or three interview this question will going to ask. Okay, and like this is also important because while working you need this, you need this transformation to do. Okay, because in SQL join is very important, those who have studied SQL. In same way in Power BI merge is very important, and it do the exactly same thing that you are going to do in SQL, join in SQL. Okay, so suppose I have this employee table. I have information as employee ID, first name, and their department ID. So my employee ID CD01, his name is Ankit, and he belong from department ID 100. Same apply for CD03. His name is Swapnil and he belong from department ID 3, and so on for Pankaj and Anjali. So this table, employee detail table, contain information about employee. Then I have another table. The name of the table is department or dim department table. Okay, and it has two column. One is department ID and another is department name. It contain information about department, the complete information about department. So like we have department ID 100, 101, 2, 3, and 4, and corresponding name. So we have HR department, finance department, immigration, admin, D365 department. So these are the three all different department that is there. So this table contain information about department. This table contain information about employee. Department and employee are two different subject. These are not two same subject. Okay. If you see the attribute, we have employee ID, first name, and department ID. And here, if you see the attribute, we have a department ID and department name. Okay. The attribute of both the two tables are different because subject is different. Now, what is the requirement? Requirement is in one single output, I need employee ID, I need first name, I need department ID, but I also need the department name. So if you see employee ID CD01, his name is Ankit, his department ID is 100. If you come to department table, 100 belong for HR department. So ideally, department name should be HR here. Same way, if you see Swapnil, his department ID is 103. 103 contain information about admin. So ideally, admin should be here. Now, if you see, we have a third record that is for the Pankaj. His department ID is 102. 102, the department is immigration. So immigration should be here. And if you see employee ID 4, we have Anjali. Her department ID is 103. 103 belong from admin department. So admin should be here. So this is the output that I want. Okay. So in one single table, I need column or attribute from two different table. From two different table. So this is one of my table. This is my another table. This table contain information about subject employee. This table contain information about subject department. I need one single table wherein I should have employee ID, first name, department ID from this table, and department name from this another table. So these are type of transformation when you want to do. This is called merge. This can be only happen with the merge. So when you will go for merge, when you have data about two or more than two different subject. Okay, two or more different subject. Also, if you see what is the common between these two table, employee detail and dim department, that they have common column between them, at least one common column. So we have department ID here also and department ID here also. So this is a common column, department ID here, department ID here. So they both should have at least one common column. And what is the requirement? That in one single output, I need column from two different table or two different subjects. Okay, so here if you can see, this has three column, these are two column, but in the output I have a four column. I want one column from employee ID, these three column from the first table, and this department name from the second table. So whenever you need columns from different tables, then you go for append. Then you go for merge. What is the requirement? That the both the table should have data about different subjects, and they should have at least one common column. Now let's see how I can append this data. How I can apply merge in SQL. So merge in Power Query. I will take up your query. I suppose somebody have some query. Just hang on. Let me complete. So let me paste this data. I have this data, and the name of the table is employee detail. So I will give table name as employee detail. You call it a query as well, as you should understand query and table is the same thing. Only the naming convention in Power Query, we call it queries. And then we have a dim department table. So let me insert that data. I'm manually inserting it. We'll also show how to fetch data from SQL, how to fetch data from Azure Cloud, how to fetch data from Databricks. I will teach you all that, don't worry. So now we have a two tables, employee details and department. Now if I want to merge it, I need to select this table, employee detail. I need to go to home tab, then come to combine area, and we have a merge. I will go for merge query and new. Okay, so I have employee detail here. I need to select department detail, the dim department. I choose that. What is the common column? I need to select. So the common column is department ID here and department ID here only. So I select these two column. As of now, I am going for join kind as a left outer and click OK. So I got one other table with the name merge. Okay, so let me rename it. I will say merge employee underscore department. So I'm merging two table, employee table and department table. Now, if you see, I have an employee ID, first name, department ID, and I got this table. I merged this table. What I have to do? I have expand it. So I need to click it here. What is the column that I need? The column that I need is department name. So I will select this column. I don't need department ID because department ID is already present. If you want, you can take it, but since it is already present in the first table here, so that's why I am not selecting. I just need only department name. So I choose that and let me click OK. See, I'm getting department name here also. 100 for HR, 103 for admin, 103 for admin, 102 for immigration. The same information that is present here. This department ID column, sorry, department name column was present in this table, not present in this table, but finally I have a single table wherein I get employee ID, first name and department ID from employee table and department name from department table. I have this output. What you can do, even you can rename it. So it is saying dim underscore depth. So this is the name of the table, dot name of the column, department name. But if you want to rename it to department name, you need to double click it and remove this and hit the enter key. You will be able to rename your column. So here the name is department name now. This is called merge. Anyone have any queries? You can ask. Yeah, so Siddhant, please ask one by one. Siddhant, you what you are saying? Yes. Okay, so like you are saying the subject is different but the common column is not present, right? Then you don't go for, like, you cannot go for, merge. For merge, at least you need one common column. Okay, then you can go for cross join and all that, depend upon your requirement. Or what you can do, load both the table in the data model, you can handle it. So if you go to, like, if I load all this table from Power Query to Power BI desktop, to load that I just need to click close and apply. So in Power BI desktop, all the data that I have loaded, it will come here. So how the data flow? The data flow is from SQL database or some other database, it will come to Power Query, and from Power Query it will go to Power BI desktop. From Power Query it will go to Power BI desktop. From here, it will go to Power BI desktop. Okay, that we have seen it. Now all the table has been loaded. So see, if you see here, this is called data pane, this is called visualization pane, this is called filter pane. As of now I am closing these two. If you see in the data pane, you will see all your dim department, you will see your employee details, all this data. So if you want to see the data, come to, this is the report view, come to table view, here you will see it. So see, this is the dim department, this is the employee department. So all this data is there only. Your question is, suppose we have a two tables, different subject, no common column, what should I do? You need to come to model area and you can create a relationship. Will come up that point. But since we are, you know, our discussion is yet not mature to discuss that thing, we'll restrict ourselves to the merge. Yeah. Okay. Somebody have put some questions. Is like join in SQL? Yeah, is like a join. Correct. It is similar to join. So if you come to here, now if I go to source, source will going to show merge, because this table has generated when I merge this employee detail and department detail. So that's why when I click on source, this merge window will open for me. See the join kind in the SQL, those who people who have attended SQL or earlier have knowledge of SQL, they will able to see in SQL we have a left outer join, right outer join, we have a full outer join, we have an inner join, left anti join and right anti join. These are the different join is there. Same thing is available on merge only. It is behaving similar to join. Okay. So if I say left outer, it means I will get all the rows from the first table. So I will get CD01, CD02, CD03 and CD04. All four, all these four row will be available. Okay, based on this common column department ID. So this 100 will match here. I will have HR. This 103 match here. I will have admin. This 10 match here, 102, I will have a migration. And then 103 matches for the Anjali, and same I will have admin. The common column is department ID. In left outer join, the first table will call it as left table, the second table will call it a right table. So when you have a left outer join, you will have all the rows from the first table. So in the output, you will see I have a CD01, 2, 3, and 4. All the information are present here. Information about all these. Okay, then suppose what I will do, I will come here to the employee detail table. Let me go to source and let me add one row. I will add CD05. Since Akshay has asked this question, so I will take his name, Akshay, and his department ID I will give 110. This 110 ID is not present here in department. See, we have 101, 100, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1010 is not there. But suppose I given department ID 110 for Akshay. Okay. If I go to merge, see for Akshay it is coming null. Department ID is giving null because CD's department ID 110 is not present in my this table, this department table. If I go here, this 110 is not present here. If you see 110 is not present here. This 110 is not present here. That's why I'm getting null. But why I'm getting Akshay, record? Because the join is left outer join. I should have all the rows from these, all the five rows from first table. I should have all five rows from first table. So this is my five table. All the rows should have happen. Like, but if I choose right table, right outer join, I will have all these row 100, 104. All these four rows from this table, like from this table, right table, only the matching record from the left table based on this. So if I click OK and see the result will be different. See, I have HR, admin, finance, immigration, details, all the rows. So if I expand here and if I include department ID here also, so that we can compare, let me close it. See, I will have 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. All information are present here. All rows are present here. Okay. See, finance is present in my second table, that is right table. So I'm getting finance and 101. But since finance information is not present here, I'm getting null. So there is no employee whose department is finance. To validate it, let's go to employee detail table. You can check. There is no department whose department ID is finance. For finance, department ID is 101. So I have no employee with a department ID 101. It has 100, 103, no employee. And that's why for finance department, I'm getting these two column because these two column are from the right table, department ID and department name. But this department ID, first name and employee ID, these are from the left table, and for the left table I'm getting null values. Same happened for department ID 104. So I have 104 here in department table, that is right table, but there is no employee those who have like from department 104, and that's why I'm getting null value. So if I show you, 104 will not be there. Okay. So what the data that you are getting, that also depend upon join kind. If you go with the inner, it will only see the matching rows from both the table. So 100 is present here, 100 is also present here. So I will get this row. For Ankit, I will get it. 103 present here, 103 present here, so I will have information about Swapnil. 102 is present here, 102 is present here, so I will have information about Pankaj. But if you see 110, it is present in the first table, that is left table. 110 is not present in the second table, so I will not have information about Akshay. So if I click OK and go here, see, there is no information about Akshay. Why information is not about? Because Akshay has department ID 110. 110 department ID is not present in this table. And since the joint kind is inner join, what happened in inner join? Only those record where department ID matches is present in the both the table, or a common department ID should be there. 110 is present in the first table, but it is not present in the second table or a right table. So 110 is not common in both the table. So that's why I will not have information about Akshay. If you go with the left anti, what will happen? In left anti join, suppose this is my left table employee, this is my right table. In left anti join, it will behave, opposite to. So like there will be common rows, like we have a department ID 100, 103 and 10. Let's first see the output and then I will explain, then you will be able to understand. So see, I'm getting only one row. That is for Akshay. Uh, I'm not getting other row. Okay. So this Akshay information is present in the left table. This employee table. This was my left table. This is my right table. Akshay department ID is 110. 110 department ID is not present in this table. So what left anti will going to give you? It will give you only those rows from left table that is not available in the right table. So if you go to the left table, we have 100, 103, 102, 103. These rows are present in the left right table. So 100 is present, 101 is present, 103 is present, 102 is present. All these three is present. 100, 103 and 102. 100, 102 and 103. All three rows are present. 110 is not present. So what left anti will going to give you? It will give you rows from left table, that is from this table, that is not present in the right table. So this 110 is not present. That's why I am getting, information about Akshay 110. 102, 100 and 103 are present in both the table. So will not get that. Got it, guys? Any question? Siddhant understood. Other people, Akshay, other people, can you confirm? Priyank, Anjali, Navdeep, Om. Cool, guys. If you have any questions, you ask. Otherwise, we'll wrap up these sessions. Okay, and we'll continue ahead with other transformation in Power Query in the next class. Okay, guys. Thanks for the joining, recording and notes. Everything you will be getting in the group. If you have any question, you can stay, other can drop. Thank you. Thank you, Siddhant, for the liking sessions. Navdeep, Akshay. Thanks a lot, guys. Anjali. I will be sending you the link of the YouTube channel in the group. You can go there and I will be also uploading the recording. You can refer it from there.